All right, guys, Tash here again. I'm now going to show you how to enter things into MyFitnessPal. So the easiest way to do it is to scan barcodes. So in front of me here, I have got some Nutri-Grain and almond milk. You obviously cannot see it, but I'm going to scan it in and hopefully it works. So probably hear me fidgeting. Okay, now I'm just trying to find the barcode on the Nutri-Grain. Now let's give that a go. So we're going to go add food. Now you can see this little barcode thing in the top right hand corner. I'm going to click on that and it's going to bring up my camera. And there we go. What I would do with this is I would weigh it out. So you can see it automatically comes up with 40 grams, depending on how much you want to eat. Say you wanted 60 grams, that would obviously be 1.5 servings. So then you can go into number of servings and change that. So 1.5 brings you to 60 grams of cereal. You hit check mark. And that goes into your breakfast. If you were having that with almond milk, say 250 mils, which is 1 cup, you can either use a cup measurement or you can put it on a food scale that is able to read liquid and weigh out the 250 milliliters. So what I'm going to do is just scan it. All right, so that's 250 mils. That's perfect. I'm going to add in with the check mark there, and we're all good to go. That is my breakfast. All right, so same thing goes if you have a snack, for example. So I've got one of those little Carmen protein bars here. Say this was one of my snacks. I'll scroll down to snacks, and I'm going to scan this little guy in. So pressing the scanning button again, and there we go. So there's my 1 bar for my snack. All right, so now you're probably wondering, what about things without labels? That's a great question. So with this, it can be done a number of ways. So for example, say you had an apple and some almonds for your other snack throughout the day. So what you would do, you can just search apple. Now with these sorts of things, you don't have to be crazy specific. You can weigh them out if you want, but for something like an apple, if it's a medium-sized apple, I would probably just go 1 medium apple. If you get too obsessive and too crazy with it, it's honestly just not worth it. You know, so I mean, don't leave anything untracked, even something like lettuce, but something like this, you know, an apple, you don't need to start weighing it out unless you need to cut weight for some sort of competition. If it's just basic weight loss, then you're totally fine. So we'll add that in. And if I had almonds with that, I'm just going to search for almonds. Search. Now, what I'll probably do, you'll see the ones with the green ticks. Those are ones that are verified. So they are actually the correct ones. Be careful when you're searching for stuff on MyFitnessPal because a lot of the time they're just user uploaded, so they can be wrong. So I always try to use ones that have a little check mark. If not, I do scrutinize them to make sure that all the calories are correct. So we'll select this nut. So you can see it automatically comes up with 1 cup of almonds, which is a lot of calories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the serving size. So I'm going to press that. And I'm going to pick, I'm probably going to do the 100 grams and hit the check mark. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have 25 grams. So what I have to do, it does require a little bit of math, a little bit of brain power, but nothing extraordinary by any means. So with the 100 grams, it's obviously a quarter if I'm using 25 grams. So I'm going to click on number of servings and, oopsie. You can do it 2 ways. So sorry, backtracking a little bit. What you can do is you can either do 0.25, the decimal version, oopsie, 0.25, or you can go into fractions, which would be a quarter. So either or. It's the decimal works really, really well if you're really going down to the gram. So if it was like, 13 grams of almonds, you could actually go to a serving size of 1 gram. And then in the decimal section, write 13. So it does make it really, really specific if you need to be specific with those things. So there is my 25 grams of almonds. I'm going to hit check mark there. All right. So that is how you generally enter things throughout your day. This is pretty basic. So, obviously if you had, let's say a sandwich for lunch, and you just had sourdough bread that didn't have a label on it. What I would do is actually weigh my sourdough bread, and I would look up sourdough. And you can see here it says 1 slice, 1 slice, 1 slice. I would probably go for 1. I'm going to have a little peek here and see if any of them have grams. That one doesn't. Let's see here. Oh, you can see here, this sourdough looks like it might be weighed. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is select 1 gram. And if I had, let's say, 80 grams, 40 grams per slice of sourdough, then I'm just going to enter 80, and that gives me the exact amount. And looking at it, that number, even though there's no green tick mark, that does look pretty accurate to me, so I can enter that there. If I had salami on it, what I'll do, salami, look for one with a tick mark. Now looking at that, 1 slice, kind of not, I don't like going 1 slice, like what is 1 slice? So I'd probably go with the 100 grams and say I had 50 grams of it. I would just go 0.5. And that is my salami. Probably not something I would eat on the regular. If you look, the fat content is pretty high. So, but just for example's sake. And then if you had some fat-free mayonnaise, yes, always enter your condiments as well. So I think the best one is by Praise. So I'm just going to look that up. So I think this is the one I would typically use, the Praise 99%. So it's, the second one down. Actually, no, you know what? I think it is the third one down. With these things, guys, you're going to get really used to it. It might be overwhelming at first, but once you really get used to all these things, it becomes second nature. So I'm going to click on that one and say, I had 13 grams. So I'll go to the 1 gram option. Number of servings, 13. There you go. So that's my sandwich lunch. Sourdough, salami, and mayonnaise. If you had a coffee, you would be logging that as well. You are literally logging every single thing. So that is what it would look like. Now, obviously, as you go through the day, if you are short on your numbers or if you feel as if something's adding up a little bit too quick, sorry, I'll just go back. I just clicked on that 468 in the corner. So you can see here that my fat is already extremely high just from the few things that I've entered. Now, if I were to go back and look, I'm going to think, oh my gosh, how has my fat added up so quickly already? So, almond milk. Almonds have a little bit of fat, and you will learn this as you go, guys. So, okay, there's 5.3 grams of fat. There's the first bit. This salami, oops, sorry guys. Bit of fat in the sourdough, not much. Salami, 11.1 grams of fat. Holy moly, okay. Now, the fat-free mayonnaise, probably not much, that's fine. Now, when we go down here, I think this is probably the catalyst. So this protein bar, 9.8 grams of fat, and these almonds are almost 25 grams of fat together. So that's when you need to make adjustments. And that first week or two, this is going to happen. You're going to have literally like 10 things in your diary and you're going to go overboard. And that, my friends, is how you gain weight. So that's why this tool is so useful, being able to track these things and see where you may be going overboard. So yeah, you'll notice the fat content is probably going to be the first one to get up pretty high. All right, guys, so that is how you enter stuff into your diary. Stay tuned for a couple more videos on how to do a few more things in MyFitnessPal.